We're putting the band back together. Knicks make a huge game-changing trade for Mikal Bridges. Let's get to it.
Well, there's nothing I can do. I only want to be with you. You can call me a fool.
Okay, so the Knicks made the trade that conventional wisdom had that wasn't going to be able to be done because of the nature of two teams in the same marketplace in New York that haven't made a trade since 1983. Nonetheless, Leon Rose and the Knicks make it happen. It's official. We are now the Nova Knicks, if we weren't before. Knicks trade for Mikal Bridges. Initially, this is a trade that I wanted. I think he's just a perfect cultural and scheme fit for what the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau want to do. Is he a super duper star? No, he is not. But I'll take Mikal Bridges any day of the week. So the Knicks give up 5 picks over the next 7 years, 4 unprotected and 1 protected. So you're thinking, okay, 5 picks, but they're kind of lower value picks. And if you're in the low to mid to high 20s, I can live with that, especially how well the Knicks do drafting out of the second round. So then it's a 2025-26 second round pick swap. Knicks give up Bogdanovich and get a second round pick and the protected pick swap in 2028. If you look at the headlines and you give up 5 picks, you're not going to love this deal. And you see a lot of it on social media and X and the like, that it's an overpay. Quite frankly, I thought it was the kind of deal that maybe you would get for 35-year-old Kevin Durant, maybe with some players thrown in. But that leads me to say this. We kept our players. We didn't have to give up Julius Randle. Yes, it's a lot of picks. We still have future picks. I think we still have 3 or 4 first-round picks, and I have faith in Leon Rose and the Knicks to wheel and deal and make some moves, maybe get those picks back, maybe make some trades. Mikal kind of leveraged his way out. He told the Nets that, tell other teams that if you may be interested in me, but the Knicks is where I want to go. I mean, I don't know how you not want to be in Madison Square Garden during a playoff run. We saw how crazy the Garden was, how it was rocking. It was the place to be. For those few weeks, it was the Mecca. Nonetheless, it's kind of a good deal for both teams. The Nets got back picks that they lost in the Kevin Durant Suns deal. So 6 out of the next 7 years, they have their own picks. And that's part of the problem when you put all your eggs in the superstar basket. Didn't work out for them. Nonetheless, I love this deal. I love that it's the Nova Knicks. Here's why. When you think about those Villanova teams and Jay Wright, were they the most talented? No, there weren't any no-brainer top 5, 10, 15 picks. But in Jay Wright fashion, they played well together. They can play defense, play gritty, play determined, play well together, can shoot. Who does that sound like? Kind of sounds like what Tom Thibodeau and this Knicks team wants to do. I think he is the perfect cultural fit. Superstar or not, we can debate that all day long, whether or not we overpaid, but I think it's the perfect fit. A lot of times you have to give up something to get something. And these guys are all in their 20s, so we're not overpaying for an aging star. I love this. These guys play well together. The band is back together. The college boys are back together. Mikal, two-way player, can shoot the 3, can defend no 1 to 4 to position. I mean, if that's not a really good fit, I don't know what is. And here is probably the most overlooked and most important part of this deal, let's say this right now, he has never missed an NBA game. You heard that correctly. Mikal Bridges doesn't miss games. We know how that impacted us in the playoffs. We would have been in the final if not for injuries. Not to mention, if you're a Jets or Giants fan or Rutgers fan, as I am, and a Rutgers alum, have watched how injuries have impeded our progress. Talked about in the past, Michael Jordan, 9 times. 9 times. One of the, if not the greatest basketball player ever. Played 82 games. And you remember those old Piston teams, they were coming after him. That wasn't basketball, that was football before the rules changes. Literally tackling him, shoving him to the ground. Nonetheless, I love this. I love this deal. I wish we would have gave up a little less, but I'm not going to nitpick about that. This gives us elite wing defenders to go up against the Celtics. You think about it, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, they're not going to start, but you have the two of them and McBride coming off the bench. So not only do you have an elite wing defenders on the court to challenge the NBA championships, you now probably have the best wing defenders coming off the bench. Not to mention they can shoot. And that's the significance in this deal. The Knicks are balancing their ability to shoot and score with playing defense. That's a really hard balance to maintain. But it looks like on paper they've done it. Congratulations to Leon Rose and the Knicks. Okay, salary cap. I'm not a salary cap guru, but this does put us, between a rock and a hard place. Is Hartenstein in or out? His early bird rights means that the most we can pay him is around $18 million. He's probably going to be offered $20 million or more. But if I'm him, he's a really good fit on the Knicks. And if you experience that playoff run that you experienced last month, how can you not want to play in New York? Apparently his wife loves New York. So if it's the right personal fit, the team is trying to get better and win now, you might take, you know what, I'm going to play in New York. Yeah, I can get $1 million or $2 million playing in, Oklahoma City. But I'm staying in New York and I want to be part of something that's bigger than myself. Hopefully that's the way that it works out. If the Knicks tweak the lineup and are able to move some players, they'll have about $57 million in cap space. If not, they'll have about 43, which is just about what OG is probably going to want. The recent news is that the Knicks are making concerted efforts to keep him. I'm a little worried about OG. He seems like he's a little bit out of sync of what the team's trying to do, the organization's trying to do in building a team concept. I hope he doesn't get too aggressive with his demands. I think, obviously, when he's on the court, we're a much better team. Elite wing defender. Misses a lot of games, though. You're going to pay a guy 40, 41, 42, 43 million. I would probably do that, but I have incentives playing time in there. Recent headlines about him being miffed at the Nova Knicks. Maybe there's a little bit of a competitive fire there. I hope, media, especially New York media, tends to get a lot of things wrong. Hopefully that's not the case. But I hope landing Mikal Bridges doesn't push him further to wanting more money because of him feeling estranged, but he needs to be smart enough to understand this is a great position for him to be in, not just playing in New York, but with a coach who loves the kind of ball that you play. The kind of ball that you play fits in exactly what they want to do. And quite frankly, growing up 5 miles outside New York and watching the Knicks, it's been over 50 years since I've seen a championship. There's a reason why there are those chants in the stands of defense, defense. We love to see that. OG is unbelievably valuable. So OG, I hope he gets it done. Those Paul George rumors the past few days tended to be incorrect, but that leads us to where we are with the draft. And this draft is going to be very interesting. I don't think Knicks moves are by any way, shape, or form done, whether that's small moves or big moves. We still have draft flexibility. What are we going to do? Some people think, okay, now we'll just draft our guys. But if you're drafting guys for future development, you're in win now mode rather. So maybe, rumor has it that maybe they move up and they draft Ryan Dunn out of Virginia, another elite defender, needs some work and some polish on his offensive game. But that would definitely, if you get him in the mid-teens, that would definitely solidify what it is that, how you want to go about playing. Do you use these assets? Maybe get back some of your future picks that you lost. Maybe that's a possibility. A player that was thought that might have been able to be there in 24 and 25 probably isn't any longer. But if you do lose Hartenstein or Mitch Robinson, is Zach Edey an option? Zach Edey is one of those guys who, I'm a Rutgers grad. I watch a lot of Big Ten sports. Zach Edey was just a big, not so athletic guy that kind of took up space, kind of finesse, pass first, maybe a little bit of a short to mid-range game. Kind of like Jokic. Jokic was a similar player. He was taken in the second round. I thought Zach Edey might be a second round kind of pick because of the bias against those kind of players. But after his sophomore year, he developed into an elite offensive player. So I'm wondering now if Zach Edey is an option. Give the Knicks some offensive firepower at the 5 position. Or is that something the Knicks would even consider or really want to do now? Because, Mitchell Robinson, is the rim-protected defensive guy. I know people are counting him to be in a lot of trade scenarios, but you're going to miss him. He's invaluable if he can stay on the court, but that's a big thing, staying on the court. Hartenstein, down the stretch and in the playoffs, there were games where he disappeared offensively, but on defense, he was really superb and was worth his money just from that standpoint. So whether the Knicks take a philosophical change to go toward a guy who can kind of dominate in the paint remains to be seen. The other thing is, the Knicks do pretty good in late first round, second round picks. Quick was a number 25 pick. So I have... and McBride, I think, was number 36. So the Knicks can do well in that mid to late, that late first round, second round pick. I'm not really concerned about draft capital so much because I have faith in Leon Rose and the Knicks to pick the guys that they feel are going to contribute, done a really good job. So stay tuned. More likely moves coming, big or small. Enjoy the NBA draft and go New York, go New York, go. Let's go Knicks and enjoy the week, everybody. Hopefully there's some more big news to come out of the NBA draft, and we will see you the next time.